As foreigners, there's a limit on how much we can send out of the country. Hi travellers, I'm Anne's daughter Lalika. In this video I wanted to talk about sending money home. So how do I get enough money to be able to send a wad home? Check out my other video that I'll put in the description box below of the envelope system that I use whilst living abroad. As foreigners, there's a limit on how much we can send out of the country, and it changes. So by the time you watch this, the policy may have changed. Foreigners can send 500 US dollars at a time to be able to send home through their banks. So my company helped me set up my bank account through Bank of China when I first arrived. I can go back to Bank of China. There are several pieces of paper that I need to take with me. Company letter, your work contract, something that shows that you've paid tax in China, and your passport. Yeah, there's like this list. I've never done it this way, because by the time I get together all those pieces of paper, go to the bank, I can only transfer 500 US dollars at a time, have sat and waited at the bank, and I guess that's what I don't enjoy, is the never-ending waiting at the bank. In China, you know, you take your little ticket and you just sit, and usually there's 2 or 3 windows open and people take their time. Be prepared for hours of waiting, because you have no idea what the people in front of you are going to do and how long they're going to be. In Western countries, you know, they try and dissuade you from even setting foot in the bank. So how have I sent money home? I have done it 3 ways. I have taken a Chinese person with me to the bank, I've taken it out in cash, or I've sent it via PayPal. I've had different experiences with that, and basically it's because they have a greater limit. They have up to 50,000 US dollars per year that an individual citizen can take out of the country. It's nice, they have a greater limit than we do. First time I went with just a Chinese guy that I happened to know, and he was a highly valued customer at the bank, so we had absolutely fantastic service. It still took a couple of hours, but in terms of the drama, nothing. So when you're going with a Chinese person, the easiest way I've found is to take a wad of cash. Such work, I want to do it for a decent amount. Wad to the admin person, and basically just becomes their money. So it looks like they're sending it. So the first step, of course, is putting the cash into their account. It seems to take a long time. Then it's the transferring of it. So there's a whole process that, honestly, it happens behind the glass. We just sit there and watch the teller do some clicking, some typing, and then some clicking. But I wish I could say this was quick, but it's not. I got a note from my bank that I printed out because I found that to be the easiest, and it has all the details: SWIFT code, bank address, bank name, my name, all of the details that the teller needs to input to send it to me. As far as what the transaction looks like, it looks like it's coming from admin lady. So it's not my money, it's coming from her, and it's being wired to me. Yes, there's costs involved. It's very minimal though, at least on the Chinese end, and then your bank takes out, you know, what is it, 10 bucks, 20 bucks, whatever the fee is, because it's an international transfer. I've wasted so many hours of my life sitting in a bank in China. Worst, I will say, it took an lady and myself 6 hours. Now I know that might seem like an exaggeration. You're like, 6 hours? That's the entire day gone. Yeah, when we got back to work, I went home. Last time that I did it with an admin lady, even though, as I said, 50,000 US dollars was the limit, and I said way less than that, the teller actually told her not to send anything again this year because you don't want to draw any attention to yourself from the government. So when I was leaving for summer holidays, I just withdrew it before I left, and then I just carried it in my carry-on, because then it's with me at all times. Only fees that I have are none, because my bank doesn't charge fees to change foreign currency because I'm a member there. So that's the least expensive way. possibly the most easiest. I find it the easiest in terms of stress, and you can just do it yourself, is sending it via PayPal. So what that means is that you just need to set up, and because you'll have another, if you're set up with PayPal at home in your home country, fantastic. If you haven't set it up, do so. Then you want to set up at the Chinese side of PayPal, and that's where you would use some other email address. So for example, I used my work email address to set up, and then I linked it to my Chinese ATM card. It does take 2 or 3 business days for it to leave my Chinese account and for me to see it in my PayPal account on the other side. There are fees because it's PayPal, and they take a percentage, and I can't remember off the top of my head how much that percentage is, but it's a percentage of how much you're sending, because you can do PayPal from home and it's just easy. Other colleagues that I've worked with have sent it via Western Union. That's getting increasingly difficult to do, and still requires one to go to a bank, and so you're still in that whole banking, this could take hours stress, unfortunately. Another way you could do it is, I know when I was in Hong Kong, I could use my Bank of China card just anywhere, so that was great too, and I went to the Bank of China ATM and I withdrew Hong Kong dollars. Could be another way around it. I'm not sure what the withdrawal limit is for the ATM though. If you're really worried about saving on fees, go to the bank and do it, or save it up and take it in cash. I just want to say, it's not easy sending money home from China. They definitely want to limit how much you can take out. I hope that's provided some sort of helpful advice, because they are always sort of rejigging policies of how much and how often that you can send money home and how to go about it. That's also why I think the PayPal app, until they've gotten onto that, is a good way, because they have WeChat, then it just seems really underutilized by Chinese people, so perhaps they're just not pursuing that avenue at the moment. I do hope that was helpful. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments box below, and remember to give this video a thumbs up.